All right, man. Let's talk some birds, man. So, Eagles won yesterday, 20-16, 4 points over the Cleveland Browns. And while the score was close, quite frankly, I never really felt like we were going to lose that game. And I know, it's frustrating. The whole Sirianni thing's still frustrating. He's frustrated, really. The whole thing yelling at the fans. And since I've made this video, he had apologized or whatever. I'm sure Jeffrey Lurie, I was kind of waiting on it because I'm sure Jeffrey Lurie probably wasn't happy with all the backlash. But I don't know, man. Overall, how I feel about that game is, without that block field goal, we win that game, 20-9? Or potentially 20-6, depending on, what happens. But, we win by multiple scores, without that block field goal. And, I don't know. I think it's hard for me to really sit here and just continue the whole bash. That's kind of throughout that bye week, I had to get my head straight. It was obviously dealing with the Phils is a whole other thing. That shit pissed me off. But just trying to regather. There's just been so much disappointment, man. And being a Philly sports fan, we know. We're not exactly it's not new to us, but it was man, I had to duck away from the negativity for a little bit, and that's not there's obvious reasons to be negative, so I'm not knocking you if you're down and out, down bad on the team, down bad on the birds, whatever. I get it. It's a lot of bullshit, just going around as of late, as far as any Philly sports go. But I guess ultimately, I'm not that upset about this win. I'm not mad about this win. Kind of how everyone is for the most part, or how most of us are feeling. I'm not really feeling that I get it was the Browns, so it's it's just kind of I can't, I just kind of have to still wait and see. I'm not I haven't given up hope. Also, I'm not I don't know. I'm not I'm almost expecting every game to come out slow, which I hate. Because that's kind of the problem. Offensively, it's we come out slow on offense every game. I don't get why that has to be, and of course that falls on the coach. But it's at what point, at what point are we just take over a game? I don't know why that has to be a difficult thing. It just seems every game there's something that goes haywire. But Jalen Hurts, no turnovers. That's positive. Take that how you want to take it. It is a positive. I like what I saw out of Moro Ojomo. I love what I saw out of AJ and Devontae Smith. Huge having them back, obviously. And they're gonna do what they do. So I'm not really surprised there. Hurts had some good balls. Pause. Hurts, he threw some good balls, and I can't really, I don't know. I gotta give him his credit. I feel that's gonna be, an overlooked thing until he starts more consistently, or on a more consistent basis, is not turning the ball over. And just kind of doing what he's doing. You just gotta keep that consistent. And I'm sure he can. I'm that's again, I've been saying this since it's been a talking point, but I'm really not that concerned about Jalen Hurts to the level I think a lot of us are. I'm just not there. I think it's been just a weird start to the NFL season, just all around and all across the board. I can't really like sit here and just hit the panic button on Jalen Hurts like somewhere. I don't like the chemistry between him and Nick Sirianni, I'll say that, but you know, it can get better. It can definitely get worse. And it's just kind of like we're still kind of stuck in that same thing, like just waiting to see, is the ship gonna, you know, are we gonna right the ship or is it gonna sink? And that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of where it's been like the whole season. So it's like, what else is there? It's just like, I'm just not the type to like really like feed into like just like the bashing if I don't actually feel like bashing. I thought the win was actually like a good win. I don't know. I think we should have scored more points. Yeah, like that's I guess my criticism is not scoring in the first quarter or scoring a touchdown in the first quarter. And you know, you get it going earlier, then it's a double-digit lead. And like I said, or not double-digit lead, you know, you score more than 20 points, and you know, it doesn't. It's just the eye test, and I feel like that's kind of where people are hung up on. And again, I don't blame people. I'm like, me personally, I can't blame anyone for feeling any way right now, because it's kind of like what we're led to do, given the current state of this team. It's frustrating, you know, just the inconsistency. Brighter note, everyone else in the division lost, and the Cowboys got their shit kicked in. You know, so that's always fun. That's always a good, you know, it's always something good, a good Sunday to have, especially after just the god awful, you know, just like kind of bearing like with all like the, you know, the Philly shit, you know, the Sixers are coming back, and that's going to be, you know, it's going to be a grueling season, I'm sure, just because it's like, you know, they can have a great season, but we all want to see what we want to see, and that's them getting out of that, getting out of the first round, the second round, but, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but, yeah, I don't know, I'm not, like, I can't say I've given up on the Birds, because I know that's kind of like that's kind of what everyone's talking about right now. Like, we in or out, and everyone wants to fire Sirianni now, and I can't be mad at that. I wanted him gone after last season, but I just don't think, I don't know, unless like a really bad loss happens in like this next 3-game stretch, I don't think he goes anywhere. I mean, like, and just some interesting stuff after that game, like, you know, like BG kind of sticking up for Sirianni, you know, and Sirianni saying that, you know, like, it was the players that came to him and told him that to like, you know, have some type of fire or whatever. I don't know, man. I feel the same way about Sirianni. I don't think that's going to change either. But, like, overall, I mean, like, I hated the last call. Like, that call to, like, throw deep to A.J. Brown to seal the game. Like, you know, I'm glad it worked. Great catch, great throw. Glad it was executed properly, because the second they dropped back to throw, I'm like, here we go with this bullshit. It's just like, I'd like to just have a game where it's just like, it's just not frustrating. Like, where I'm just like not, like, where there's just nothing for anyone to bitch about. And until that happens, this is where we're gonna be. God damn, sorry, I'm driving. It's just kind of where we have to be. As a fan base, we're gonna be pretty down, and like the expectations have been lowered, I feel like, as far as like a week-to-week basis of just not knowing what we're gonna get, how we're gonna shoot ourselves in the foot, you know. Come on. it's kind of it is what it is right now, and like it kind of sucks with like, and that's kind of how I am, like just not overreacting to anything. And yeah, it's just not why I started this channel, was not to over, like, you know, just to force a reaction. I can't do it, right? Like it's not really me. So that was how I spent my bye week. It was just like, all right, what do I like? How am I actually feeling? When like, how are we going to like, you know, where am I going to take this? Because really, like, this channel for me is just, it's honestly more of like a sport. It's like sports therapy for me. But I just think, yeah, I don't know, man. I thought Jalen Hurts had a good game. AJ Brown, great game. Devontae Smith, good game. Calcaterra had an okay game too. I wasn't expecting that. So that was cool to see. Like I said, Mora Jomo did some really good things out there. You know, Nolan Smith didn't look abysmal, but again, it was the Browns. So like, yeah, I expected the pass rush to be, you know, to at least look okay, which is a wild thing for me to even expect at this point in the season, just because of what they've given us. BG is just turning back the clock. Love seeing that. And just ultimately, man, like, it's just, I don't know, like, I love what the defense did. And like, I guess my big take is like, everyone's saying like, you know, like they can't give the defense credit because it was the Browns, but it's like, I think the defense looked how they should have looked against the Browns, honestly. I mean, yeah, there were certain moments where like the Browns shot themselves in the foot, definitely helped, but like, I don't know, I didn't think our defense looked lost. I think Nakobe Dean needs to tackle still. I think he looked just as bad tackling from last week. But I mean, outside of that, like, defense looked good. Even when Slay went out, love what I saw when Keely Ringo came in the game. You know, delivered a big hit. Like one of the hardest hits I've seen in a long time. At least coming off the, you know, from our birds. Like, so I mean, like, that's just kind of where I'm at. I like how the defense played. I think the offense didn't do enough to make me feel like extremely confident, but they did enough to like make that game not so like abysmal to watch. It wasn't. It just, I don't know. It was just kind of like a whatever game. Glad we got the win. Let's keep it moving. It's kind of what it is right now. Yeah, that's where I'm at mentally with this team. It's just in like a weird limbo. I'm still hopeful. I still got, you know, I'm just because I'm a psychopath, and I'm always gonna have like be full tilt and expect a win every week. Expect the team to be great. Am I crazy to expect this team to be great? Like, and that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm just kind of waiting and trying not to let, because the tension has just been killing me. Like every game, every week, like just like crazy tension. Just feeling like what are we gonna get? And it's just like right now, I'm just like, oh, all right, what's gonna happen? Like every week, but not a tough schedule ahead, at least for this the next few games. So. It's a shame that I have to feel uneasy going against the Giants. It's a shame that like there's like there's that tension that still lingers, like playing an awful team. Like we just haven't shown that we can dominate on all levels. We haven't shown that yet. And until then, this is just kind of what it's going to be. It's going to be, you know, people ripping the birds, and I'm not gonna. I can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at ripping them. Where I'm at is, it's like I'm just trying to keep a more positive look, so I don't go absolutely insane, or more so than I already have. with these games and just kind of try and take the positives when there's positives. Because if I continue to like hope Sirianni's gonna like somehow not act like an immature, 13-year-old kid, then I'm gonna lose my mind, because he is who he is, and that's annoying. He's an annoying guy, but he rides emotional highs and lows like no other coach that I've ever seen in the history of the NFL. And I feel like if the team can get going and kind of like have some snowball some W's and hopefully at some point look good doing it, then I think it'll be less to worry about as far as Sirianni goes, because I feel like he's a guy where we have to just be clicking. And it's hard because he gets in the way of that, but I feel like if we can somehow will our way into an offense that is not starting slow, an offense that's constantly scoring points, and we don't have to put so much pressure on the defense, then I think it becomes less of like Sirianni, like he'll just get less in the way, hopefully. And that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where like my hope is. It's like, all right, somehow the team turns this around as far as like just again having dominating wins, or just a dominating offense and a defense that's formidable, that can tackle bare minimum. And I think if we can do that, then I think we'll have a team that can make a run at the very least. But and I think it kind of takes Sirianni more out of the picture, because then he'd just be riding an emotional high, and then he'll second guess himself less. Maybe he'll, I don't know, like just grow up slightly as an NFL head coach. And I don't know, it's kind of where I'm at, man. I hate to say, I'm not like I might sound like I'm somewhat defeated, but I'm not defeated. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting, and the suspense has been killing me, so I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm just taking what I can get right now, so I don't lose my mind. I'm still early in the season, so that's why I can't really just be overly angry, but I can't be too happy either, because they didn't really give me a lot to be like crazy excited about. I'm just glad we got a win. Glad Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts didn't look bad. He missed on some passes early in the game, but as the game went on, he got better, which is kind of how he is. So I'm not really beat up about that. I like what I saw from Jalen. Saquon had a slow day. Not worried about that. Why would I be? And I like what I saw of the defense. And I'd like to see the defense just kind of have. I want to at least figure out who our defense is. And that's kind of what my problem is. It's just there's no identity. And once we can figure out what it is, I like that we shook up the depth chart a little bit. Love what I saw out of Cooper DeJean. What more could you have asked from him stepping into that role? And yeah, hopefully, the more we kind of move guys around, maybe something gets found. Maybe there's an identity that can be found. But I mean, until then, man, this is just kind of what it is. You just kind of have to ride it out. Ride it out with me, man. Until we can figure out who this team really is, and they can find some type of consistency. But yeah, man, until then, this is where we're at. We got the Giants coming up next week, so gotta win that game. That can't be a loss. You gotta come out. You gotta look good. It's essentially, you're essentially playing the Browns again, but with a quarterback who can actually get a first down if he has the time to do it. And Daniel Jones. This is not me saying Daniel Jones is this good quarterback all of a sudden. He's just better than Deshaun Watson right now. And so we gotta get it together, because this next game, like, you can lose if you don't dominate. And that's just where I'm at. And as the week progresses, I really hope, I don't know, as far as the injuries go, I don't know, I don't think we got an update on Mailata yet. But it wasn't very promising. So that hurts. Hopefully Fred Johnson can step up and really, just kind of be formidable. It's kind of what you kind of need to ask from him. And I don't know. It's just kind of like, it kind of sucks, because just like, usually we know who our team is by now. And we're still like, it's still the same feeling from the beginning of the season, which is frustrating. You almost feel stagnant as a fan, because we are really right now. But luckily for us, every other team, for the most part, is also trying to figure out who they are. Teams with a very talented teams, I should say. Talented teams on paper are also struggling to figure out what's going on. So that's all we really have going for us as far as like a league-wide standard goes. It is what it is, man. I think I'm still on the we'll be all right train, even though it just doesn't feel right chemistry wise. I gotta see this team more. I gotta see them more. I gotta see more what they have, what they can do, and then I'll know, and then I can actually have more of a consistent expectation for this team week in and week out. Annoying, yes. Could be worse though. Could be worse. Glass half full mentality, trying to have it. So until next time, I'm Wesley. You're watching Beast on Broad Street. Sorry for the doom and gloom feeling when it really isn't. It really isn't. But hey, it's what it is, man. Philly sports. What are you gonna do? Life sentence. Go Birds. Go Fly Guys. Still mad at the Phils. We love our fightings. And dare I say, go Sixers. Till next time.